And now, it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, Corey Sandin, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and Corey Sandin.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. I'm Pete Gray with Rock Cod Rick Maxa. We're in the world headquarters of Let's Talk Hookup here, right next to the San Diego Landings in Point Loma. Beautiful Southern California day here, and it's showtime. Yes, it is. Bill DePriest and Mike Bohn are here from the PCS show, the Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Show, coming this week. You stay tuned. This is going to be an action-packed show right here on Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California's sport fishing voice, on the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio and the Let's Talk Hookup app.
Countdown to spring with exhilarating deals on new Yamaha outboards during Yamaha's Power and Performance Sales Event from now until March 31st, 2024. Purchase a new eligible Yamaha 450 to 30 horsepower outboard and get up to 7 years of warranty protection and a Siren 3 Pro package to your purchase of a 115 horsepower and up, and receive a bonus $1,000 in dealer credit and half off your Siren subscription. Looking for lower horsepower? Yamaha's got you covered. Purchase a new Yamaha 25 to 2.5 horsepower outboard and receive up to $2,000 in dealer credit. Reliability starts here. Offer ends March 31st, 2024. Subject to change. Other restrictions and conditions apply. Select models excluded. 24-month Yamaha extended service added. A 36 or 60-month factory limited warranty. Choice offered to Florida residents is a 24-month Yamaha limited warranty. See authorized participating Yamaha outboard dealers for details. Cannot be used with any other Yamaha offer.
This is Captain Brandon Nelson from Lucky Bee Sport Fishing. Our dynamic fishery here on the West Coast is home to some of the most iconic game fish that swim the salty world. We demand tools designed to perform flawlessly and deliver the upper hand in any situation. That's why I use and recommend the all-new G. Loomis IMX Pro Offshore series of rods. It's a full lineup of purpose-built 20 to 80 pound class rods. I have been fortunate enough to be working with G. Loomis on the IMX Pro for some time to help develop the actions we need here on the West Coast. And they nailed it. The G. Loomis multi-taper design technology adds material where the blank is likely to fail and subtracts material where it won't. A C guide train and Fuji reel seat complement a Battalon grip that offers extreme fatigue fighting comfort. They have been helping my passengers on Lucky Bee Sport Fishing land some amazing fish, and now they are ready for you. The new G. Loomis IMX Pro Offshore Rod Series at your local Shimano or G. Loomis
Quality, the Islander out of Fisherman's Landing is a favorite among anglers, but Islander Charters is much more than great fishing. The quality of the captains and crew, as well as the great meals and service, speak for themselves. Comfortable staterooms, a super clean and well taken care of boat are just a few of the reasons the Islander is so popular. The Islander specializes in 1.5 to 5 day fishing. Experience the Islander difference. Visit IslanderSportFishing.com.
Man, you said it best, dude. It is showtime.
Yeah, it is.
And it is the big show. Is just days away, and pumped to have the boys in here today. Going to talk all about it. This is going to be one heck of a good time.
Yeah, good morning, Bill and Mike.
What's up, boys?
Good morning.
Great to have you guys. You've been diligently working at this massive Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Show that's coming up this Thursday. How's it feel?
We are ready to go. It's more booths than we've ever had, over 500, and we got on it early, and everything's dialed, and we're ready to rock and roll.
So what's so special about this show? Mike, Bill, I mean, you guys have been working at it.
Yeah, I would say that one of the neatest aspects is that all of the booths that are there are industry people. Every building that you walk, it's wall to wall with everybody that you'd want to see, from trout fishing all the way up to, swordfish stuff. So it's everything in between.
the show's gone through such crazy growth the last few years, and last year was the first year, admittedly, that I had got to go and was just, man, I love it. The vibe is so cool up there, and there's so much fun stuff and people and music and fun, and it's like such a cliche-sounding thing to say, but it really is more than just a fishing show. It's a rad day.
Yeah, I mean, there's the like you said, the atmosphere. We try to make it fun with bands, and by the time you watch people walking around, by the time I got loose on Saturday or Sunday and was able to walk around and watch people from an outsider's perspective, everyone has a smile on their face. The kids are fishing the trout ponds. They're doing those fish prints, the Gallo Taco fish prints on shirts, and Jay's there with all of his animals, and everything from the seminars to all the tackle, it's all there, and lodges from all over the world. So
yeah, right. So where can you go and hold a 15-foot anaconda or a python?
What?
Yeah, or a tarantula or an alligator, right?
You can miss me on that booth.
What?
Yeah, no.
Oh, they have live reptiles there?
Yeah. We have falcons and eagles. And,
Jay is the biggest reptile guy on Instagram. He has like 7.5 million followers.
Huge.
And he's a good friend of mine. I got him his first swordfish, his first cow bluefin.
That's right.
The other thing is the fact that all the landings are there. All of the San Diego landings, including Seaforth, all the way up to Santa Barbara. A lot of the long-range boats, most of the charter boats are there. The captains are there to talk to. It's one of the only places that all of these guys are congregating, besides Day at the Docks, that you get an opportunity to speak to these guys.
We were talking about the hall that Fisherman's Landing is going to be in, and Fisherman's Landing Tackle. Are the booths together? The Fisherman's Landing Tackle?
No, we're not. No.
Oh, you're two separate.
Two separate. I mean, obviously same hall, very close to each other. But
Fisherman's Landing Tackle, that area in the same hall.
Very
but we were talking about walking around that, and you see Dwayne Diego, you see the guys from Captain's Concepts, you see, all these guys that are key figures. Brandon Hayward and his crew in there. I mean, they're all there. I mean, and the sport boats, the Searcher, the Royal Polaris, all the guys are there. And you just walk around, and everywhere you look is like, wow, these are all the superstars of sport fishing here.
Yeah.
And it's everybody. I mean, it's the who's who, and like you said, the landing booths. I mean, I can only speak for Fisherman's Landing, but I mean, I know like the number of captains that are planning on coming up is very big, and I'm sure all the other landings are very much the same. So it's fun in all ways, whether it just be to go up and give a knuckle bump to the buddy of yours that drives the boat when you go fishing, all the way up to booking a trip to getting advice on what's coming up for next year, or maybe you got a charter that you want to do. Like all of those people are all there in one spot.
Yeah, there's no question about it. And, they offer an opportunity to go and check out even like dive shops, right? We got guys from the Santa Barbara Landing. Their dive shop is coming down.
Really?
We got Lost Winds.
Yeah, we have Lost Winds Dive Shop. We have Spear America. I mean, there's full-on spearfishing there too. I mean, it's very much
so diverse this year. It's so diverse.
A lot of different, and boats. How many boats? Have you figured it out?
Oh, the boat section is the biggest it's ever been, and we have everything from small John boats up to the Freeman Boat Works guys are out from the factory with their boat. Yeah, which I don't think they've ever been to a show on the West Coast.
Wow,
so
that's that.
It's exciting.
How did you pull that off?
That amazing catamaran.
You know what I mean? Like,
thank you very much. It's a 47. It's a 47
how
footer.
Did you pull that off?
It's a 47 footer with quads, dude. It's
so
huge.
cool.
And retail on that Freeman, a 47 footer with quads?
I think you're going to have to go to the show and bring
I think that's a call for price.
Right, call for price.
Yep, you can't afford it.
Yeah, for sure. Seakeeper is going to be there.
Seakeeper rides, Seakeeper's there, Man Engine. We got like Fujinon binoculars, a whole row of electronic fruit.
Well, I saw that. I want to say that you have Baker Marine is going to be there, right?
Yeah.
Which is very cool, and a lot of people don't necessarily. We talk
Baker
about all.
Marine's going to be there.
We talk about all the time on the show, like. Those guys keep the fleet running. Baker Marine is this small, rad little shop in Point Loma, on Shelter Island. And if you walk in there, people are sending them glasses from American Samoa and everywhere in the entire world, everything goes through that shop. There is nobody that's better at optics than those guys in that store. Like they are it.
How'd you get them to come?
So, dude,
they don't even
crazy.
leave their shop.
Last year I was out on a boat, and a guy, we were looking, there was turns way off in the distance, and he hands me a pair of binoculars. I'm a newbie, right? So I get these things. I'm like, what are these things? You can see 2 miles. You end up burning a bunch of gas because you're chasing everything all over the place. And they were Fujinons. So we looked into Fujinons, Baker Marine. They're at the show.
That's
cool.
And also the marine electronics, having all of the manufacturers' booths there like a giant boat show would have. So you're not just dealing with a salesman that's selling you. You actually have factory reps that you can ask the questions to. Furuno's launching their new NavNet system that's never been seen on the West Coast. It was launched in Miami a couple weeks ago. This will be the first time it's been out on the West Coast. So.
And Johnson Hicks Marine has his giant display. I know the
and Garmin's right there next to him.
Simrad's going to be.
Simrad's there. Yeah, so we have the sales side. You can buy the product there of any of those products, but you can also talk to the factory reps and play around with the products in the factory booths.
Yeah, how cool if you're in the market for buying electronics that you could go and talk to the manufacturer's rep of each manufacturer. They can sell you on how great their product is. You can try each one on demo screen for yourself and then go to a killer shop to buy it from, then sight on scene.
Right, and it's also, we have like the Humminbird guys, right? And the Minn Kota guys are there. So it's freshwater, saltwater, as big as you want to, the small boat stuff.
That's rad.
So I got to go on a demo ride on Friday on the Seakeeper ride system. And I was like, okay, these are just basically glorified trim tabs, right? It's pretty impressive.
They make 4,000 adjustments like a minute or something. It's ridiculous.
I don't even know what it is. What is it?
It's like a glorified trim tab is what it is. And you put the system on, and it's like, it's like they make thousands of adjustments every second.
Yeah.
And it makes the ride go. So Seakeeper the ride goes sideways to sideways. That keeps you level,
rolling.
Right? The other way, and this is for smaller boats, up to like 30 feet or something like that. Basically, it's the other way. So the up and down and the front. So the bouncing. So you go over a wake, instead of going pound, you don't pound. You just, for somehow, I was asking Jason, the guy, how's this work?
You need to start getting more specific right now. Like that's a thing that I need. Like
I cannot explain it, but it was pretty impressive.
But that'll be a PCS booth.
Yeah, there'll be,
and they'll have live. It'll be live, so you can see it actually work.
How it works.
What a trip! Okay.
So it's a trip. Yeah, it was. Because I'm a Seakeeper believer.
I know you are.
Yeah. But and they go, you got to test the ride system out. And I was like, okay, well, and I did. So it's good.
Okay.
But that's just one of the things, many things that are going to be there. Captain Rollo's Kids at Sea going to have a giant booth there. I got to put a plug in for guys there, Mike and
they raise
Tim
money every year at the show. They have the big rod giveaway. They're number one on that Nomad Mad Mac thing. They have the first one was donated to them for their raffle. Also CCA with their new Star Tournament. What a great way to protect our rights to fish and join in on an opportunity to win an 18-foot Parker.
Wow. Yeah, and the new model 18-foot Parker. Which is cool.
Yeah, it looks like a great
speaking
boat.
of Parker, West Coast Marine will be, Nick will be there. And did he get the new 24 in time?
Yes, you were asking.
He did.
They have the boat and it's ready to go.
Cool.
Wow, fantastic. So this is the debut of the new 24 Parker, completely redesigned boat.
For the West Coast.
Yeah.
Sick.
So designed
cool.
Yeah, they have a big spot. Right when you come in, I think they're 80 by 80 or 80 by 60. They're right in the middle there.
Wow.
They'll also have the two, the new Camus boats, the 26 and the 28.
Benny will be standing there guarding his boat, right?
He'll be on his boat.
Yeah. Benny Florentino, of course, we're talking about.
On his boat.
Then you talk about seminars. My gosh.
Dude,
the list of
you guys
seminars
went off.
Beyond compare. Now, I'm looking at the insert this week to Western Outdoor News. Are the seminars listed in here?
They are listed in there. And it's everything from finesse trout all the way up to surface swordfish, deep drop swordfish. So this year we have some special stuff. So as far as surface swords go, understanding behavior of swordfish, we have, I think it's on Saturday evening, we have Steve Lasley and Carl, the pilot, which is known as Air Pilikia on Instagram. He's the one when you see the amazing footage of the bluefin swimming around or a swordfish cruising. He's covered more miles of water looking for fish than probably anybody alive. So he's going to be a wealth of knowledge along with Steve Lasley, who everybody knows is the man.
Yeah. How'd you do that?
I have no clue.
You know what I mean? Like,
these are friends that we know for a long period of time, and they don't speak anywhere.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe a once in a lifetime thing. I don't know that Carl will ever do another one.
How about those two guys together? Is incredible,
and they're great friends.
That's going to be so fun.
And they're great friends, so it'll be a neat atmosphere there.
Yeah, and
I've already made my announcement. I'm taking my break from the booth to go watch that.
And he's fresh back from wherever they were.
And then the deep drop stuff. Thursday. I think it's Thursday evening. We have Bryce Herman, who runs up in Oxnard area. We have Joe Daly, who is out of Oceanside area, and then Dylan from the Bite out of San Diego. And there's only so many guys that are really on this swordfish thing, and those three are three of them.
Well, I'm sitting looking at one right here that's caught quite a few swordfish there. And if you have respect for these guys, it's saying something.
You're listening to the fan of every Southern California sports winnow's
we spent a lot of time at our house in Idaho during the summer. I sold the charter boat and didn't run charters last year. And we come down every Halloween to meet Valerie from Queen Charlotte with her daughter Hallie, because our families are very good friends. And we were literally touching down at LAX, and I called Frank, my old deckhand who used to help me on swordfish charters, and I said, hey, can you throw the 18-foot Parker in the water? I got some numbers, and I want to get my 13-year-old his first swordfish. He's never fished for him with me before. When I shut down the charter business, I had already got my 16-year-old now his swordfish when he was 12. And now my 13-year-old, he had never been out. So we did a quick half day. We lost one early on, missed a bite, and then we ended up catching a 367.6 pounder 5 hours later on a half day swordfish. I fished one half day for swordfish last year, got a giant.
And you hooked two.
Yeah, we had 2 bites. Yeah.
So rad.
Yeah.
What's the secret? I mean, what's the secret to catching these things?
It's funny because the guys that I feel like don't have long-term success are the ones that say it's catfishing. Right, so they think, oh yeah, you just drop it out, and they've caught a fish. In 2019, when it was wide open, a lot of guys caught fish that maybe wouldn't have.
Yeah.
And I think the guys who are detail-oriented, I have photographic memory, so I can tell you every bite, every fish, what the conditions were, what the bite looked like. I can tell you, in my opinion, by looking at a bite, how big a fish is. A lot of people think a giant bite, a big whack on the rod, is typically a really small fish. Most of our fish that have been in that 100-pound range are the most violent bites we have.
Wow.
It's very interesting. These little detail things, and when they're feeding, you check their bellies, and they're feeding on rockfish. Those seem to be the bites that are less aggressive, and they seem to pull hooks more. When their stomachs are full of hake, they engulf the bait. We have these little things, different moon phases, different lights, and just the little detail stuff is what we feel like the few guys that are really having long-term success have figured out the small details. It's not just catfishing.
Yeah. There's a lot to it for sure. And that's what you're going to get at these seminars at 100%. The PCS show.
Yeah,
right? These
guys are as good as anybody.
Yeah.
No question.
That's just swordfish. Then there's a lot of other things. You're going to put bluefin tuna.
The big bluefin stuff. We've got Dwayne and his guys from Pinnacle. We've got Brandon and his guys from the Bite. And then you go to the sport boat side. You got the Captain's Concepts guys. You got Art Taylor. You got the guys from the Intrepid. You look into this and the amount of names. Then you get into the jigging stuff. What we did is we purposely brought in guys that are slow pitch guys, and we brought in guys that are speed jigging guys. And when you mix, instead of having one guy tell you how great his product is, you put 4 guys on stage that come from 4 different areas, fishing 4 different types of jigging, and you actually get the real deal. You don't get a sales seminar that tells you got to buy this one rod, this one jig. You actually hear the real deal, which is why we don't do typically single guy seminars.
Gotcha. Yeah, well, as you can hear, we've got a lot to talk about here.
You're not kidding, dude.
Just scratching the surface of the Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Show. Not only that, I mean, Bill is obviously a very accomplished captain, both in bluefin and swordfish. You have some questions about that. Yeah. Maybe we can pick his brain, get some details on how to catch those things.
And Mike is sitting next to him, and it's just going to be a great show. We're going to have I'm just kidding. Mike and I have been great friends for a lot of years. We worked at Western Outdoor News together, and we're going to have a great time. Today's going to be a great show. Lots of fun and so much information with these two guys in here. Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Show. So much cool stuff to cover. And if you want to join us, man, we want to hear from you for sure. Give us a call this morning at 213-432-1090. Again, 213-432-1090 is how you reach us on the phones. Or send us a text. I had a very fun text that came through yesterday saying they were so excited that Bill and Mike were coming on, but he wasn't going to be able to listen to the show live, and he was planning on listening to the archive show later in the week, but he wanted to make make sure he got his text through. So again, if you want to text the show, that's only available through the Let's Talk Hookup app. It's a free download. It's the best way to listen to Let's Talk Hookup. Just like this gentleman, you can hear the shows in archive when you're heading home from work. You can play all the past Let's Talk Hookup shows. It's a great way to do it. And it's the only way that you can text in your questions to Mike and Bill. The way you do that, too, make sure that you include your contact info, because if you win the big prize at the end of the show today, we want to make sure to get it to you. And what a great prize we are giving away today. A couple of great prizes. One lucky caller and one lucky texter are each going to win 2 tickets to enjoy this great PCS show in Costa Mesa coming up March 7th through the 10th. That's this Thursday through Sunday. Next week, it's going to be happening at the Costa Mesa Fairgrounds in Orange County. Going to be a great show. One caller and one texter each going to win 2 tickets. How cool is that?
Yeah.
When we come back, we're going to be taking those phone calls, reading those texts, and a whole lot more. You stay tuned. You're listening to Southern California's Sport Fishing Voice. This is Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
I've had the opportunity to fish many places in many different types of water, but never have I fished a place as much fun as Katmai Lodge in Alaska. Hello, my name is Harold Davis, typically fishing in the ocean, but this is an experience that you have to try for yourself. Fish natural rivers with tens of thousands of fish coming up. And they have all the gear: spinning, bait casting, fly rods, kings, silvers, pinks, sockeyes, and my favorite, the chums. Outstanding food, outstanding accommodations, great service. The lodge is located in the beautiful Katmai National Park, filled with amazing wildlife. Brown bears, moose, eagles, otters, and it has spectacular scenery. And also the fact that the lodge is located right on the Alagnak River and your boat is just steps away from your room makes it great. Do yourself a favor. Call Charmel at 1-800-330-0326 or go online, katmai.com. And like Pete says, they will hook you up.
The Boat Show is back. The Bart Hall Boat Show at the Fairplex in Pomona, March 1st to the 3rd. We'll highlight Southern California's premium dealers and most of the greatest boat manufacturers in the country, all in one place. Fishing boats, ski and wake boats, family fun boats, very fast boats, very exotic boats, personal watercraft, and some of the most spectacular one-of-a-kind handmade boats ever seen. If it floats and you can put it in or on your car, then it's probably at the show. Marine accessories, wakeboards, marine clothing, kayaks, stand-up paddle boards. We've got it all, including live music. The Bart Hall Boat Show, March 1st through the 3rd at the Fairplex in Pomona. Noon to 7 p.m. Friday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Sunday. Kids under 15 are free. All of the boat dealers and all of the boat factories you love, all in one place. Don't miss it. It's the Bart Hall Boat Show. For more information, go to hallshows.com. That's hallshows.com.
The sport shows are coming, and it's the best time to buy that new boat you've always wanted. West Coast Marine will have Parker and Camus boats along with North Star Inflatables in the PCS show in Costa Mesa this year with some of their most popular models of boats and Yamaha outboards. Owner Nick Kelly will be introducing the latest from Parker, the all-new 18 center console and the new 2420 sport cabin at the PCS show. These are completely redesigned Parkers built for our kind of fishing. West Coast Marine has a great inventory of Parker boats and Yamaha outboards at their shop on Newport Boulevard in Costa Mesa, along with the finest service on Yamaha outboards and more. Nick will have several Yamaha-powered boats at the show available for you to check out. Be sure to go by the West Coast Marine booth at the PCS show in Costa Mesa, or stop by their Costa Mesa location and see their inventory of new and used boats and Yamaha outboards. Check westcoastmarine.com.
All of us at the American Angler family want to express appreciation to our regular passengers that fish with us year after year, and to the new anglers that came out this last season. We realize how precious your vacation time is, and we are truly grateful that you have chosen to spend this time with us. It's important that your experience is memorable, from the moment you call the office to the time you step off the boat. Hi, I'm Lori. Call me at the office, 619-223-5414, or check us out at AmericanAnglerSportFishing.com. Come fishing with the American Angler family and make a memory.
Turner's Outdoorsman, Southern California's #1 shooting, hunting, and fishing tackle retailer since 1971, is right in your neighborhood. Now with stores throughout Southern, Central, and Northern California. No one does it better. Turner's Outdoorsman brings you the best prices and selection, plus a knowledgeable staff that will help make your day on the water or in the field more fun. Stop by your neighborhood Turner's Outdoorsman. To find a location nearest you, check the web at turners.com and sign up for special deals and more.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning. Phones already packing up again. If you want to get your chance to get through, 213-432-1090. Or again, keep those texts rolling through to the Let's Talk Hookup app.
Captain Frank Lopresti's on the line. Good morning, Frank.
Well, good morning, Pete. Good morning, Rick. How are you guys doing?
Doing great. I turn around and see the Royal Polaris snuck in yesterday afternoon, huh?
Yeah, it snuck in yesterday, and it's going to sneak away tonight.
No kidding. Well, you just came back from a 22-day exploration trip. How was it?
You know, Pete, it was some of the toughest fishing I've ever encountered. It was problems with sharks, problems with porpoise, but the biggest problem of all was current. Just current going the opposite way everywhere we went that what would be correct. So it was a tough fishing trip. We scratched out a trip. We did not have any tuna over 200, and I'm not even sure. I think we had around 15, 18 fish over 100 pounds, and a lot of that 50 to 80-pound fish. And we had good grouper fishing. We had, close to 100 wahoo. But overall, it was a tough fishing trip, but what a wonderful group of people, and we had so much fun. Skiff fishing everywhere we went. People had a ball, and in fact, several passengers told me it was the best trip they'd ever been on. So I guess you'd call it a success, but from a fishing perspective, it wasn't the best.
So is this the true story that this is Captain Frank Lopresti's last trip as captain of the boat?
That's true. That's true. It was a trip where I got a lot of humble pie. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, but you have a lot of guys taking over for you, Jonathan Yamati and Roy Rose, and those guys. Those guys are going to carry on the Royal Polaris tradition.
Oh, I guarantee you they will. The boat is operating so well. The crew is so fabulous. I couldn't be happier. And I'm going to be around for at least 3 more years, and I'm going to be fishing on the boat 4 to 5 times a year. But what I really called for, Pete, is about this local scene. There is abundance of bluefin tuna within 1-day range right now.
Oh, my.
And I expect boats that get out there to start making catches real quick. And I know weather has been a problem. I know Aliar on the Polaris Supreme, he's leaving with half a load. If anybody wants to get on that trip, he's leaving Thursday morning, and he's got a weather break, so he's definitely going. And that'll be a 3-day trip. And I think there's a couple guys going this next weekend. So I expect the season to start soon on the bluefin and yellowtail. And I got to tell you, down the coast, I've never seen so much yellowfin coming up the line, much further up the line than we ever seen. I expect to see yellowfin tuna here in early June, if not soon.
Great news.
Wow. So wait a minute. You said that there's bluefin tuna
You're listening
within
to the
1-day
vein
range
of every
right
Southern
now.
California sports widow's existence. This is the mightier 1090 AM ESPN
within 1-day
Radio.
range. I know that for a fact. The planes are seeing them. And, there's going to be some great catches made as soon as the weather gives them a break, okay?
So, and people can actually get on the Polaris Supreme this Thursday, which forget about it later in the season because he's totally sold out of Seaforth. Get on the Polaris and go fishing with Aliar and go catch some bluefin this Thursday.
You give that guy 3 days to find them with the conditions we have, and like Frank's saying, the weather window. No doubt. That trip is an absolute slam dunk.
Well, they already found him, right?
I also want to mention, for those people that haven't booked yet, there's lots of openings on several boats in April. So, you'll find long-range boats that have 2 and 3 day trips open in April. The Shogun's got openings. I know the Independence has openings. Several boats have openings in April, and we're going to have some. I think in the next week we're going to see some good catches. Okay.
That's awesome,
wow.
Frank.
Frank, such a great report and so exciting. Let's get this season started. And are we going to see you at the PCS show?
I'm going to be there on day one, and that'll be all, because I'm getting ready to go to El Salto, Pete.
Exactly.
I'm so excited. By the way, we have 2 openings if anybody's interested in going. We're leaving next Saturday, okay?
Next Saturday to go to El Salto with Captain Frank Lopresti. And are you going to be hanging out in the Fisherman's Landing booth on Thursday at the PCS show?
That is correct.
All right. That's great. Great. Will be great to see you on Thursday at the PCS show. And if you want to get a spot on that El Salto trip with you, it's fabulous. It's such an incredible experience, especially this time of the year.
Yeah, airfare is very reasonable. It's a turnkey, easy trip. There's 2 guys from the tackle store going, Nate and Andy, who are awesome, very, very good anglers. So, yeah, I mean, if you're thinking about going, thought about it, just do it. Pull the trigger, jump on. We can help you.
So much fun.
We can help you figure out the gear between now and then. It's a really cool opportunity, and it's a very fun time.
And it's pretty reasonable price, too, right, Frank?
Yeah, I think it's very reasonable. It's $2,200, $2,250 for 5 days of fishing. Actually, 4.5 days of fishing.
Wow!
And we fish from from before daybreak until dark.
Frank makes things happen that don't normally happen down there. We don't, it's very common to have a nice breakfast and, leisurely get down to the boat and have a nice slow morning. Well, you do that, you miss the topwater session in the morning.
Yeah.
When Frank's running the show, you better be ready to eat when it's dark, and you better be ready to load the boat when it's dark, because you are making your first casts of the morning are pre-dawn, so that you have the entire, the best window of topwater fishing is when most of the other places are still serving breakfast. That doesn't happen on the Frank trip. You're there for all of it.
Now wait a minute here. One of my favorite parts about fishing El Salto is you come in after a great morning session of 5 or 6 hours of fishing, and you have lunch and then a little siesta. Are you saying that Frank doesn't do that?
No, I'm saying the siesta is a lot more important, because instead of leaving at 8, you're leaving at 4:45 in the morning. So the siesta is very important.
Yeah. All right.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And if anybody really is interested, all they got to do is call Fisherman's Landing Tackle, and the guys will hook you up with information.
No doubt about it.
Sounds great, Frank. All right, we'll see you Thursday at the show, and thanks for the report. Appreciate that very much.
Looking forward to it. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, thanks. Appreciate that. All right, phones are packing up. You want to get through, have a chance to win a couple of tickets to the PCS show, 213-432-1090, a line open right now.
Well, I thought it was only fair to start with Jimmy from San Marcos' text that he wrote into us, because he might hold the record for texting the earliest to a show ever. And it says, "Hey guys, I'm texting a few days early because I won't be able to listen to the show until later. I'd love to know how the PCS show started. I've known about it for several years, but last year was my first time attending. I loved everything about it. The flow of the booth made it very easy to visit everybody. I can't wait for this week." It's from Jimmy in San Marcos.
Bill, why don't you take that one?
Yeah, so 15 years ago, obviously, I've been at the magazine for 20-something years, but 15 years ago, Drew and I sat down and came up with an idea to try to put together a very pure fishing show that was based around these amazing seminars. And we started our first year in the smallest building at the fairgrounds. I think we had maybe 40 booths there, and we had killer seminars. And, the hardcore guys in town absolutely loved it. And we spent the next 8 years bouncing from building to building, trying to find a little bit more ground. And we ended up in the largest building for the last 6 years or so until COVID hit. And we had our show right before the state closed down. and we were not able to do a show in 2021. But in 2022, we kind of took the bull by the horns and decided that we had the opportunity, with the support of more manufacturers and retailers in our industry, and we jumped it up to 3 buildings and put all the money back into the advertising and introducing the people to what we were doing. We grew slow in the fact that we didn't want to put a bunch of booths that didn't belong. We wanted to grow as we could put the stuff that people were looking for.
Fishing oriented.
Fishing oriented, yeah. And now it's obviously from freshwater to saltwater. But then at the end of 22, we had so much support and so many people that wanted in that we decided to go ahead and rent the entire Orange County Fairgrounds. And Mike Bohn and I got to work and sold all the booths out, filled the grounds. And last year was our first year taking over the entire fairgrounds, and It was a huge success.
How much? Okay, after attending last year, great show. It was huge. I mean, everything was there. How is it different this year? Is it bigger?
So what we did is we used to have a lot of bulk boat space with larger boats in the buildings and stuff, which kind of broke up the rows a little bit. This year we made a giant boat section in the main mall. If you're somebody that's gone to the Orange County Fair, that dead center area, that big giant area, that's filled completely with boats. The Santa Ana Pavilion and the Promenade also are boat sections. And then we went ahead and made room to put in another just shy of 100 new 10x10 booths, and we still have brands. We still have brands on a wait list trying to get in. So next year we're going to have to
all
expand.
fishing brands.
Yeah, and we're going to need to expand into another tent or something, because I don't like letting people down. Yeah, there's room at the fairgrounds to expand out the backs of the buildings and lawn areas, and we have the room to do it. And this year we're trying again to grow at a pace that we can continue to be the purest, fishing and outdoor show possible.
Wow.
Well, I think that's the thing that attracted, taking the Let's Talk Hookup hat off and putting the Fisherman's Landing tackle on, and that's the thing that attracted us so much. And I hesitate in saying this because of what a big show it is, still freshwater and still travel and all those things. But what really got us was like our roots, and the roots of Let's Talk Hookup are the same, was the roots of the show was Southern California saltwater sport fishing. And that's what really attracted us at Fisherman's Landing. That is what we do. Like, we love every type of fishing that exists. We're talking about going bass fishing with Frank Lepresti, but at the core, we're a saltwater sport fishing shop, and that's the roots of PCS. And now it is expanded to encompass every bit of fishing that exists, but the amount of SoCal saltwater sport fishing related things it's unprecedented.
Yeah, I think we saw at the end of 2022, the other shows canceled and were not able to exist. And there's so many mom and pop shops and so many brands that depend on being able to sell and go to these shows, and so many sport boats and landings, that we felt the need to, like we said, take the entire fairgrounds and make sure there was room for everybody. So it was a big step forward for us, and it paid off. And the lines were, in the morning we went out on Thursday, and I was absolutely blown away at there's thousands of people waiting to get into our show, which was, we're honored.
That's got to be a thrill.
That's rad.
Well, when you open the doors,
it's humbling.
It's humbling, yeah. I'll bet. Well, I'm sure there'll be a good line this year.
Oh, yeah, there's even more hype on that. It's wild. It's wild.
Going to be exciting. Can't wait for Thursday. What time's it open?
Thursday is 12 to 7, Friday's 12 to 7, Saturday 10 to 5, or 10 to 7. And Sunday is 10 to 5.
Wow.
Awesome.
Great. All right, let's jump into it.
Well, the phone lines are packed. And again, a reminder, every single person is eligible today, and we're going to have one lucky caller and one lucky texter. Each are going to be winning 2 tickets to come join us at the PCS show. Let's jump into the phones and talk to Dave. He's calling us from Spring Valley this morning. Good morning, Dave. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning, guys. I'm excited to be going up to the show this week. I'm going to head up on Friday with a friend. But I wanted to quickly share that yesterday you had a caller on that was looking to go fly fishing and learn how to fly fish. Over here at our Lake Murray on the weekend in the morning for about 4 hours, Saturday and Sunday, San Diego Fly Fishers is out there with rods and reels, a big banner showing people how to fly fish. So for that guy and anybody else who's interested, send them over to Lake Murray.
Dave, that was the first place I ever held a fly rod, was at Lake Murray when Marty Milner took me out there with the San Diego Fly Fishers, and that's where I learned to first cast a fly rod, was with you guys at Lake Murray. It's all free, right? And it's really great.
I didn't know that was your first experience with a fly rod.
Yes, absolutely.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that was a lot of years ago, like 30 years ago. But you guys do such a great job, and you're so willing to help people out. So it's free. And what are the times you do that?
I believe it's not me. It's not Dave. It's just the San Diego fly fishers. I'm out there fishing, so I see these guys.
Okay, all right, great. Yeah, well, check with San Diego fly fishers, and they'll be able to tell you. But they're out there at Lake Mary every week, right?
And that's the thing. It's a totally free thing. They provide the gear. There's nothing. You show up, and they provide instruction and teach you how to do it.
Yeah.
That's a cool club.
Is there fly fishing at the show?
You know, there are a couple of fly fishing brands, and we have a bunch that are trying to join us now. So
yeah.
I think next year they're probably, with our expansion, there'll probably be a full section of fly fishing stuff. So
yeah, because you're a fly fisherman, see?
I have been tying flies since I was 11 or 12 years old. So
see, it's addictive.
It is. It really. People would laugh at me. You know, I'd come in from doing the marlin tournaments and fishing big tuna, and one of my favorite things was to run up to Mammoth and fish Hot Creek and the Owens. Like, that was my love.
Absolutely, for sure. Hey, thanks a lot for the call. Appreciate that. I have a great text from Bob, and he says, "Good morning, all. Can't wait for the Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Show. But first, fishing swordfish off Catalina. Is your setup braided line with fluorocarbon? What size hooks? What kind of bait? And how deep are you fishing?" He wants all the information, all right?
That's good. So we're big proponents, obviously, of the straight Spectra deal to about a 25-foot wind-on.
What pound Spectra are you using?
We try to keep it to 100. Okay. I like solid better. It just seems to cut through the water better for what we're doing. If you go too much bigger, you get more bow in the line there. Uh-huh. And then we go to about a 25-foot wind-on and then to a 3-foot short leader. So the wind-on's usually 250, 300, and then we'll use let's start over again. So the wind-on is actually the ones that they usually come about 100 foot.
So you're describing the perfect bluefin rig there.
Yeah, I'm going to my kite rig. Give me a second here. I just woke up. So it's they come in 100, 150 foot pre-done wind-ons with the wax loops. Ray Rocher makes them. There's a few different brands that
you
make them.
You can buy actually swordfish.
You can buy them pre-done, and that's what we use.
I buy them Fisherman's Landing Tackle Booth, the PCS show.
Yeah, you have swordfish rigs at the PCS show.
For sure,
at Fisherman's Landing
Tackle. Okay, good. Yeah. So we cut those back to 80 to 100 feet. I don't like the full giant one. 80 is about what I'm comfortable with. When we commercial fished them back in Florida in the early 2000s, that current back there is ripping. It's a completely different, guys will come out and try to do the same thing as Florida, and it's completely different out here. We don't have the current. So you don't want your bait hanging any more than, 75, 80 feet from that hook. A lot of the commercial guys are running 40 foot. So we run that to a short 500 or 600 pound short 3-foot leader that goes to our bait. Hook wise, you can use that big owner 20, I think it's a 20-aught, if you're using a circle hook, or that Mustang commercial 10-1. As far as the J hook goes, one of my secrets that a lot of people didn't know, we were using an old hook that had a reverse barb on it that was made in the 80s by the guys who did Area Rule.
Wow. I
think I inherited 3 of them from one of my dad's uncles. I found them in the garage when we first started doing this, and we pulled very few hooks with that.
Interesting.
With that hook. I mean, Tracy Melton was talking about having it made overseas. We talked about it a little bit. But you can use a regular 7691, but that was kind of our little secret, as we were using that reverse barb, that black hook with a ring on it. And we always rig the baits up in the tail section. We don't put any hooks down in the head. My belief is we spend a lot of time, like I said, in Florida, where we'd get 8 to 10 bites a night. We'd catch 5 or 6 fish. So you get that opportunity to try different hooks out. And the guys that are real hot on putting hooks way down in the head of the squid, I prefer not. I want that fish to be able to hit the bait without getting snagged up, come back through and swallow it. That way you get a little less of the foul hook stuff going on.
Gotcha. So, all right. And if you want more information, come to the PCS show and watch the seminars, right?
There will be
every day, right?
Information, yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't need to be at Catalina. I mean, our first season, we fished most of our fish within 3 or 4 miles of the coast.
And speaking of seminars, we talked about it. Western Outdoor News has a complete seminar on our list. We also have it on your website, too, right?
Sportfishingfestival.com.
All right. Very good. All right. You have a good one, Brett?
I thought for sure. Yeah. It says, good morning, guys. Look forward to going to PCS show next week. I'm going 2 days for sure. Bill, have you ever thought about having a 3-day pass for entry to the show? And then he also had a question of myself wanting to know if the JRI 66 will be available at the Fisherman's Landing tackle booth, and he's excited to see the keychain surface iron from Jeff from OCT. I should say that we were teasing Jeff about his lure being a keychain. It is a for sure surface iron. Real. Yeah, I will tease him until the day is done about it being a keychain, but it is a legit for sure fishing lure with a hook on it. But yeah, those will all be there, and we definitely will have those JRI 66s. We'll have them on the best deal of the entire year that we're doing up there. So yeah, those are a no doubter, but he's excited to go for a couple days. And what about multi-day pass?
Yeah, we do not have that available this year. It's something that we'll probably look into next year. I guess our show's grown to the point now to where you really can't do it really well in one day. So we've never had that in the past. So this is kind of as we're migrating and growing, there's little growing pains here and there, and we figure out different things that may work better for the public, and that's probably something that will be offered next year.
You've got the most Cadillac problem in that your seminars are too good and now your show is too big. There's no way you could take in every killer seminar that's going on at PCS. You just couldn't do it. There's multiple stage. There's huge names all the time. There's niche things. There's huge things. There's the things that catch the highlight flash bulbs of big swordfish and big bluefin, but it goes all the way down to very practical local fishing, sport boat fishing, trout fishing. I mean, everything is covered.
Yeah, I think what we see is the value of the Orange County Fairgrounds. It's so easy to find off the 55 freeway. You go one block, you're in the parking lot. Parking there is $12. I think most venues nowadays are over $20 for parking. The joke of $20 beers at other venues, it's not a $20 beer at the Orange County Fairgrounds. They're actually very reasonably priced. And the other day I got a Big Mac combo and supersized it. I'm at $15 for, 6 minutes of pleasure.
Yeah.
So $20 for an entire day of the best seminars and free kids trout hunt. I believe that the value is there. I mean, when you come in and you see it's a good value for $20.
So speaking of beverages, Greg in San Clemente says, I have one request, Cutwater Bloody Marys.
So Cutwater will be involved again this year. 100%.
There you go. So you can have your Bloody Mary.
There you go. You're in it. Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way, including more of your phone calls, and we're going to check in with the catch report, find out what's biting up and down the beach. You stay tuned. More with Mike and Bill from PCS when you return on Let's Talk Hookup on the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. Everyone has their go-to fishing spot. My spot is Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska. Rock Cod Rick here to say if you're looking for the ultimate Alaska experience and the best value in Alaska, it's Kingfisher Charters. Owner Seth Bohn and his crew consistently deliver deluxe accommodations, the finest food, world-class fish processing, and top-of-the-line fishing experience. We've literally sent hundreds of our listeners to Kingfisher, and they all can't wait to go back. Most Alaska resorts make big promises, and they don't deliver, or they'll nickel and dime you to drive up the cost. But not Kingfisher. Everything is included. Your license, fish processing, super deluxe accommodations, amazing food, airport transfers, your gear. Literally all you need to bring is your layer clothing, and Kingfisher covers the rest. They also have the finest boats and charter captains in Sitka, all for the ultimate value. Take it from me. Book your trip to Kingfisher Charters and you'll thank me. Kingfisher Charters. 800-727-6136 or check kingfishercharters.com.
This is Art Taylor of Searcher Sport Fishing. Join Captain Mike Totter, Chef Josh Evans as a new era begins for Searcher Sport Fishing. Mike and Josh will continue the legacy of excellent customer service, fantastic food, and an amazing crew. Book your fishing adventure now online at searchersportfishing.com or call Celia at 619-226-2403. Searchersportfishing.com, 619-226-2403.
In San Diego, the future belongs to everyone. So Ford engineered the truck of the future for everyone. The Ford F-150. Available with a Pro Power onboard generator. What a great addition for anglers. There's also a variety of cab configurations for whatever you need to haul. The truck of the future isn't created for just a few. It's created for us who love the ocean and the outdoor life. Ford F-150. Test drive one at your local San Diego County Ford dealer today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
The PCS show is coming, and we will have our best ever booth at the show. Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle. Check us out in the wildly popular Saltwater Building at the PCS show in Costa Mesa, where we will have some amazing deals for you on rods, reels, lures, and clothing. Everything at the Fisherman's Landing Tackle booth will be on sale. And as always, our expert staff will help you select that perfect setup for the fish you want to pursue. For saltwater tackle at the PCS show, your best stop is the Fisherman's Landing Tackle booth.
Great fishing is what Seaforth Sports Fishing in Mission Bay is all about. With free parking and fully stocked tackle shop, Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Apollo, Outer Limits, Elgato Doe, Pride, Polaris Supreme, Tribute, Pacifica, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth, Sea-Watch, and San Diego offer the finest half and full day trips available. Seaforth Sport Fishing. For charters or schedule, check seaforthlanding.com. Run by fishermen for fishermen in Mission Bay.
Back to Let's Talk Hookup. Having a great time here this morning. So much cool, fun stuff going on talking about the PCS show. And hey, as promised, it's time to find out what's biting out there. It is time for the catch report. Got to remind you, those low gas prices and the easy in and out accessibility. That's all Summit Gasoline at the San Diego Sports Arena. Pull up to the brand new expanded Summit Gasoline and get the amazing gas and diesel prices for your car, truck, and most importantly for your boat. They can now accommodate 24 cars and trucks to fuel at the same time, plus 12 diesel pumps. The bistro is full of all the things you need for a great day on the water. Plus, you get 100 pounds of free ice with a 35-gallon fill. Say hi to Martha and their friendly staff at Summit Gasoline. Free ice for Let's Talk Hookup listeners, and always those low prices. That's at the San Diego Sports Arena.
Have you noticed how gas prices have snuck up again?
Mm-hmm. Dude, right? And no one's talking about it?
Nobody's talking about it. Summit Gas. That's why you need Summit Gasoline.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because they research it and they find the best prices, always give you the lowest price.
I say it the same thing every time. Like, it's almost like a dirty thing that they do. Like, right when you get off of Rosecrans, which is how I get to work every morning when I'm going to the tackle store, Summit Gasoline has like a banner that advertises their fuel prices. And it's like, dude, it's less than 100 yards from a competing gas station. And they're like
almost a buck
they're like
less.
$1 cheaper. Yeah. It's so brutal. Like, I feel so bad.
But just go to Summit Gasoline.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt. Like, you'd be crazy not to.
Yeah.
Well, let's head on up to Dana War Sport Fishing. We got the man, Captain Brian Woolley, is on the line right now. What up, Woolley?
Hey, good morning, guys. Good stuff in there this morning, man. We're psyched. We can't wait for this week to be up there.
We're having fun, buddy.
Dana War Sport Fishing will be there.
Heck yeah. Yep. Well, good morning, you guys, Bill and Mike. Good stuff, man. Hard work. You know, there's always like the captain running the ship, but without the supporting role of like your crew members and those guys, you know that this stuff just can't happen. So props to both of you. Mike, I know you've been working your buns off too, getting this stuff going. So I know he's sitting in there. Just wanted to say hi and
thanks, Brian.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Well, hey, light load for us getting the boat off the dock this week. You know, just tough getting the boat off, even in some of that good weather. But the fishing is still good, both close here to the harbor and down the beach a little bit. The sculpin and whitefish are still kind of the main deal on our 3/4 day trips. Pretty easy stuff, you know, pretty routine approach. You got plenty of those sculpin and whitefish on the boat. Conditions were mellow for us, too, so there was no need for the super heavy lead this week. 6 ounces, I think 8 ounces did just fine, and just the simple double dropper loop setups. Again, just a standard status quo way to go on that stuff for the sculpin and the whitefish. Half day for us, you know, the 61-degree water this week, the nice sunshine really helped. The bass fishing was on with some of that stuff. Fish being caught on the live sardines, plenty of action for the guys throwing the rubber lures. Like the fluke bait was getting bit really well this week, and were the swim baits. And we saw some nice sheephead on Friday's half-day trip, being able to kind of fold that into the mix here now with the change of the month. Chunks of shrimp were the best bait for the guys targeting that stuff, and I'll tell you guys had no problem catching their 2 fish on the chunk of the shrimp. But, man, again, the hidden theme here continued to be the steady water temps. It's just been amazing to see. I know I sound like a broken record every week, but 61-degree water, you know, in March, it was crazy. It was good to see that. So, little wet today. I think the guys are out there. I don't know. I haven't checked in with the boat today, but we plan to be out as much as we can this week. Last day of the Whale Festival here in Dana Point, too. Just throw that out there if anyone's in the Dana Point area and looking for something to do to kind of get out of the house, walk around with an umbrella today. It's a little wet, but Dana Point here, the Whale Festival's clicking, and, of course, like I said, we're stoked to be up in Costa Mesa this week. We're going to be in booth 174 there in the Los Alamitos building, so if you guys want to come say hi to us, we'll be there all week as well. So that's it for us here. If you guys want to hop on a boat, our number here, 949-496-7555. 617-795-794. Of course, you can check us out, too, on the web at danawharf.com.
Fantastic.
Awesome, Willie.
Appreciate that report, and we'll see. What days are you going to be there in the booth?
I think I'm going to be up there Thursday, Friday.
Sweet. All right.
I'm working, getting on the boat, so right on.
We'll see you there.
Sounds good, guys. Thanks for that. Have
Willie.
a good show.
See you, Willie.
Thanks. Appreciate that. And while we're waiting, let's jump into the phones.
You got it, man. Well, they are very packed up while we're waiting for the surf guru. How about next we talk to John, calling us from Escondido. Good morning, John. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen, and I'm looking forward to my first time going to the show. I got 3 days off, so my wife gave me a pass, and so I'll be up there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and just can't wait to sit in all the seminars and everything. And you know, one of the things is I like to spend my money at my favorite shops, and having Fisherman's Landing Tackle there and not at the other shows, made it kind of easy for me to at least go spend 1 day. But now I got 3 days off, so I'm looking forward to having some fun. So, what are some of the killer seminars that you guys are going to have?
What would you say the seminar you're the most excited about? In terms of John, he's talking, SoCal sport fishing wise.
He's a long range kind of local.
That's a tough one. I think the bluefin stuff. I think the Captain's Concepts guys. If you're a sport boat guy, and these jigging seminars, honestly, I think definitely something to be had. But I think it is very hard. I think there are so many wonderful seminars. I think there's so much opportunity to learn. It's hard to pick just one.
That Captain's Concepts is a cool one, just because it's such. You said it. You said it earlier that you're in love with seminars where they're not an infomercial, and that's what I like so much about those guys. Like obviously they want you to subscribe and be a part of their service, but they're not trying to sell you a product in terms of go buy this lure or go buy this rod. They are doing it because they want you on their boat catching fish, so they're going to make the recommendation on what they think is the best.
I think that would be a must-go to.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And then also Brandon Hayward, too.
No doubt.
Same thing. Brandon Hayward's like a wizard.
I mean, the best there is.
Yeah, they have multiple boats that they run with multiple captains on stage.
All their guys.
Again, when you talk to, I don't care if they all work for the same charter group, each one of them has their own individual detail stuff that they believe works better, and you get it all when you have a few guys on stage.
Yeah, the panel thing is so cool because it always one question kicks off another guy, and he makes an answer, and then that sparks something in his buddy, and he builds off of it, and you're like you say, you're getting the straight dope out of that.
Yeah, my favorite is to watch when I have a new panel on stage that's never spoken together. You put 3 deep drop guys or 3 bluefin guys, and if you really watch their faces, when a guy will answer next to him, you'll see the shock in their face sometimes at things that they didn't know the guys are doing.
That's cool.
They have little intricacies that they'll talk about, and the other guy, you can see a light bulb go off in their head. They don't say anything.
Yeah, that's
but you
cool.
see it like, I didn't know that.
That's right. Wow. Or I can't believe he just gave that up.
Yeah, or that.
Yeah, or that. For sure. Hey, just go to the show and enjoy. Thanks a lot for the call, John. Appreciate that. Let's continue our catch report.
We got the man standing by, the surf guru, Gundy Gunderson, is on the line. What up, Gundy?
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen? Quite a crew you got there.
Having a good time this morning.
Gundy.
Good morning.
Hey, I don't have much to report. It really hunt and peck fishing this week with the breeze and the weather. The one thing I want to say, though, is that water temp's holding up. So, as soon as we straighten out here, we get a few consistent days. The things to watch would be those western beaches there, Santa Barbara, some quality perch, and there were some spawners mixed in here. So we're starting to see that go. And then that real good bite from the Oceanside Pier up to the harbor there. They weighed in a couple more 2-pound class fish, so that's something to watch. And then that lagoon bite, there was a few smaller halibut this week, not the best conditions or tides, but that's something else to keep a watch on. So short but sweet, you guys got a lot to talk about. I did just turn in a piece to Kramer for Pacific Coast Sportfishing on Corbina.
He did. Hey,
so
I remember
some advanced techniques in there and stuff, so looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. So Gundy, I remember in the 90s, Dad and I pulling up to the fuel dock or the bait dock in Dana Point, and we were still sold on big bait, and there was a day you had these little 2-inch sardines, and you loaded us up, and we had the best albacore fishing we've ever had on those little baits. I remember that day.
That's so cool. Well, hey, Gundry, great to hear from you, and we'll look forward to seeing that. When is that issue coming out, Bill?
Man, if he's in the next one, we're looking at late March, early April.
Oh, okay.
The next issue.
Great.
Yeah,
and that's the other thing we should talk about.
Yeah, right?
The magazine is such you've just gone leaps and bounds above anything, and it's so catered to Southern California sports.
Yeah, we are actually on our 40th year this year.
40th year.
40th year. Very proud of that.
Wow, you should be.
Fantastic.
Great to hear from you. Thanks a lot for the phone call this morning and the report, and we'll talk to you next Sunday.
All right, gentlemen. Looking forward to the show, guys.
Thanks, Gundy. Appreciate that. That's going to wrap up our catch board today. Want to remind you, spring, it's just around the corner, especially after hearing Frank's report. And it's time to get your gear ready for the summer. Check out surffishtackle.com for the newest in surf fishing gear, and fishthesurf.com to help you make a better angler on the beach. Phones are packed up, but if you want to get your through, we do have an open phone line right now. That's 213-432-1090. Again, 213-432-1090 gives you an opportunity to win 2 tickets to go to the PCS show upcoming this week. Also, don't forget all the texters available too. Every text that gets read on the air.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. More of your phone calls, more great reports, and a whole lot more fun with Mike and Bill. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Back in 1979, my parents started Fast Lane Sailing Center. They lived in a VW van in the parking lot and sold catamaran sailboats. And over the years, the shop has evolved. They've sold everything from windsurfers to barbecues, paddleboards, and trailers. Here's the point. For over 40 years, my parents, and eventually me, my brother Jared, and sister Ava, have been in the business of fun and making memories on the water with friends and family. If something's in the shop, it's a product we use, are passionate and knowledgeable about, and want to share with you. We encourage you to come down to our shop, Fast Lane Kayaking on Mission Bay, and check out our huge selection of Hobie Mirage kayaks, accessories, and more. And let's get you on the water, fishing with friends, enjoying the coast with your family, or exploring mountain lakes in solitude. In other words, having fun and making memories.
When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know, CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest it's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere.
The Boat Show is back. The Bart Hall Boat Show at the Fairplex in Pomona, March 1st to the 3rd. We'll highlight Southern California's premium dealers and most of the greatest boat manufacturers in the country, all in one place. Fishing boats, ski and wake boats, family fun boats, very fast boats, very exotic boats, personal watercraft, and some of the most spectacular one-of-a-kind handmade boats ever seen. If it floats and you can put it in or on your car, then it's probably at the show. Marine accessories, wakeboards, marine clothing, kayaks, stand-up paddleboards. We've got it all, including live music. The Bart Hall Boat Show, March 1st through the 3rd at the Fairplex in Pomona. Noon to 7 p.m. Friday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Sunday. Kids under 15 are free. All of the boat dealers and all of the boat factories you love, all in one place. Don't miss it. It's the Bart Hall Boat Show. For more information, go to hallshows.com. That's hallshows.com.
This is Pete, and I hear it all the time. That Jim and Mary at Poway Valley Collision are amazing. I took my car to Poway Valley Collision, mentioned Let's Talk Hookup, and they gave us VIP treatment, fixed our car, and even gave us a special price. Believe me when I say Poway Valley Collision is worth the drive from anywhere in the Southland. At some point, your car will need a body repair, and I'm confident in saying it pays to go to Poway Valley Collision. Our listeners can save hundreds of dollars on your next car or truck repair. They work with most insurance companies, including Auto Club, MetLife, Wawanesa, and more. All you do is call Jim, Mary, or any of their team members, and they do all the rest. No hassles, just top-notch work and VIP treatment. When you take your car or truck to Poway Valley Collision, the job and experience will be top-notch. Get it fixed right at Poway Valley Collision, 14211 Garden Road in Poway. Check PowayValleyCollision.com. In San Diego, the future belongs to everyone. So Ford engineered the truck of the future for everyone, the Ford F-150, available with a Pro Power onboard generator. What a great addition for anglers. There's also a variety of cab configurations for whatever you need to haul. The truck of the future isn't created for just a few. It's created for us who love the ocean and the outdoor life. Ford F-150. Test drive one at your local San Diego County Ford dealer today. They'll be glad to hook you up.